So we took an Uber and our Uber got stopped and we got searched and they were yelling I don't speak Spanish. So they were yelling a bunch of stuff and they started like handcuffing my boyfriend and I was just like, "Oh my god, what is going on?"
Hello and welcome to Two Beers Till Takeoff, the podcast inspired by conversations overheard at the airport bar. Join Phil as he grabs a couple of beers and chats with interesting people from around the world, sharing expert knowledge and hilarious stories that you won't find in your guidebook. So pull up a stool and get ready for an adventure as we explore worlds of travel and beyond with Two Beers Till Takeoff.
4 hours in a Taliban headquarters.
I had dog meat in Laos.
Was it golden retriever?
Smack a dirty old smooch on our beautiful fish right here.
He didn't die, but he fell down the side of the mountain.
Hello and welcome to Two Beers Till Takeoff. My name is Phil and today's guest has been a digital nomad since 2017, is the founder of Nomad Generation, a travel show that has generated over 3 million views, and you may have recognized her from the Amazing Race Canada. If you are a digital nomad or are curious about becoming one, you are going to love this episode. So welcome to the show, Ebony.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. What a nice intro.
That's what I love to do because I think sometimes you just kind of start and that's fine. But I like to, really prop up the guest and just get people excited about them,
Yes, I love it. Thank you.
So what's going on with you?
I'm in my home base. I'm originally from Montreal. Well, when I travel, I always say Montreal. Am I really from Montreal? No, I come from Repentigny, but my home base is Saint-Sauveur, which is a super cute little town 1 hour away from Montreal. And yeah, we're here. We just came back from a 5-month trip in Latin America. So
nice.
Enjoying some time home before we hit the road again in October and probably going to skip the winter. So really enjoying this time home right now.
Yeah, that's understandable. I don't know if people can hear my voice, but I just got back from my bachelor party last weekend. And yeah, it was amazing. We went to Boston. Boston's a lovely city. I won't share any stories from the bachelor party, but I will share one before the bachelor party just to kind of get us into the mood of talking travel stories.
Ooh.
So we were all leaving. I guess all my friends were leaving from my home base. We were driving to Portland, Maine, and then getting the train from there to Boston. And so because it's a long drive for us, it's about 6 or 5 hours drive. A few of my friends were staying over. And so I guess long story short, I finished work. I hurried up and kind of was going to meet one of my friends at home. I had to park the work car at the parking garage, and we had a work retreat. So I had a cooler in my back. So I had a bunch of stuff on me. I had 2 phones. I had keys. I had my wallet. I had a pack of gum. You know what I mean? All this stuff in my pockets, this big, heavy cooler, hurrying back to my friends were waiting for me at my place. So I was trying to go, have a beer with them. And anyways, they come in, we sit down, and all of a sudden I noticed I get a phone call from unknown, and I'm like, that's so weird. Like, is it a scam call? It's probably a scam call. I was like, you know what? I'll take it. So I answered the phone.
It's probably a scam call. Let me answer.
It wasn't a scam call. It was, hello, this is Sergeant, whatever her name, from the St. John Police Department. Did you lose your wallet? And I was like, no. And she's like, is this your name? Is this your date of birth? And do you have $400 cash in your wallet? And I was like, yeah, that's me.
Oh my God.
So, you know what? I think that's kind of a precursor to this episode. We're both Canadians. That's some of the beautiful things of small town Canada. you can drop a wallet with 400 US dollars and you might just get it back.
That is, I'm not gonna say that every Canadian is that nice.
No,
Like, I'm gonna call this semi Canada, semi luck. Like, come on now. You were lucky.
this is East Coast Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so a lovely family returned it, and I got a chance to enjoy my bachelor party, which is great.
Wow. That set the tone. Like, should have bought a lottery ticket and like, you were just like, boom.
I think that was my lottery ticket. But Ebony, have you seen in the news that parts of Southeast Asia have been hit pretty hard by a typhoon? I think it was Typhoon Yiga or something like that. That was one of the strongest typhoons in the last 75 years.
Gosh, I sound silly, but no, I haven't.
It happened like recently. I guess saw it on Reddit, and like 200 people died just in Vietnam, and it's affected, a lot of different areas, different countries in that area. But there's been like mass flooding and like all sorts of like repercussions because of this flooding and not earthquakes, but flash floods and stuff like that. People are missing. So we were planning to go to Vietnam. And from what I understand, a lot of that area has been, or the northern part has been really badly affected. So I know you've been to Southeast Asia. Is there anywhere, I guess, you could recommend that's maybe not necessarily the same as Vietnam, but one that maybe was your favorite?
This is difficult because my favorite destination in Southeast Asia is Bali. However, it's been such a long time since I've gone. And from what I've heard and from all of my other digital nomad friends, it's been booming with digital nomad. And I think it really changed. Like the Bali that I visited, I don't think exists anymore. And now that I've been traveling for so long and I'm a bit older, I tend to want to stay away from like the really, really crowded, busy areas. And I think that like Bali has become that. So it's kind of hard to give advice. Like Cambodia was too hectic for me. I really liked Vietnam. Bali was my favorite. I did not like China, had a lot of racism like in China, did not feel safe as a BIPOC traveler at all. I really liked Thailand. Thailand's a good one. But it's a backpacker destination, I would say, more than like there's a digital nomad hub there, but I would definitely classify it more as like a touristy and backpacker destination.
Right.
On my list is Japan and Philippines, but I haven't been. So I'd say
we are doing Japan. So anyways, I think we just need to do a bit more research and try to figure out an alternative second destination, because it's unfortunate because we really wanted to do Vietnam, but I mean, it's really unfortunate what happened there.
It is.
So Ebony, how did you start your backpacking career?
I'm not a backpacker. Want to make that clear? Not anymore. I used to be.
How did you begin traveling? Let's reword.
Yeah. I used to be a backpacker. In my 20s, I was a hardcore backpacker. But now that I'm in my 30s, I proudly consider myself a champagne nomad. And it's definitely been an evolution to get there. But I started as a kid. Like my mom is originally from Bahamas. My dad is French Quebecois. So I grew up with a lot of duality in my life, right? Like sharing my time between harsh Canadian winters and then white sand beaches in the Bahamas. Like that's just always been my life. And it kind of ignited a passion for travel. I became really, really privileged when at the age of 15, I said, like, I'm tired of visiting the Bahamas. Like, how privileged am I to say that? And I was like, the world is so big. Why don't we go anywhere else? And my mom was just like, well, because family comes first. So I was like, well, I want to make it on my own. And I really did. I really wanted to find a way to not travel to the Bahamas anymore and explore
Mm.
other destinations. So I got into modeling, and modeling led me to travel. I lived in Cape Town. I worked in Europe. I was on TV shows. Like, that led me to travel some more. And then I just realized that, like, I was passionate about travel. I just could never get enough. I would come back home. I would get the classic, like, post-traveling depression, uh,
Mm.
which is real.
Yep.
So yeah, I was like, okay, I have to make this my lifestyle, and this makes me happy. This is my school of life. This is my essence. And then, like, from my 20s, I was a backpacker. And yeah, in my 30s, I was like, I don't want to be in hostels anymore. I don't, like, my body can't handle it. I need like a comfortable bed to sleep. I've also started working online, and I just couldn't, like, be sharing my intimacy with other people, and, like, comfort just became really, really important. And then so I switched from being a backpacker to finding ways to being a digital nomad, and here we are.
Nice. Well, I think that's a great transition to kind of, you know, this is where I started as a
Yep.
backpacker, as many people are who listen to this podcast, into something that is called digital nomad. We see this on TikTok, we see this on Instagram, these people that are living these lavish lives, you know, some truth, some false in that statement, but it's sometimes it does feel a bit unachievable, or that it's just something that you see across the screen, someone who's, you know, rich or whatever that may be to live that life. You're here today to give us some tips on how to do that, or how to transition to that life.
Yes.
And so I guess just to make sure that we're all on the same playing field, can you describe what digital nomad means?
Yeah, so a digital nomad is someone that has the ability to work remotely and that uses that privilege to work and travel the world. I think it's important to make that distinction, because as a backpacker, I wasn't working, right? I would take some time off and travel and then come back home and work physically. If you're a traveler, like, you could be a digital nomad, but you could also just be a traveler taking, like, a year gap, or I don't know, 2 months, 3 months of travel. So a digital nomad is really someone that's working and traveling at the same time. Hence the word, like, digital, right? If you're not working online, then there's other words. I don't know them all, but it's not digital nomad.
So, Ebony, let's say that, you know, let's make a little bit of an experience. My French is coming up because we're both
Yes.
native speakers.
Yes.
I'm currently working at a job, and I want to become a digital nomad. Can you give me some tools to help me become a digital nomad?
Yeah, this was a long process for me, and there's no right or wrong answers, but I like to work backwards, right? So what's the end goal? The end goal is to make money online, and that this money that you're making online is not limited to your geographic position. I don't know if I said that right. That's also my French and translating as I go, but you're not limited to, like, from where you work, right? So I 100% believe that you can be a nomad with any job, not a digital nomad, but a nomad. And a lot of people in my life has challenged that, but I'm literally like, please find me a job that you cannot do anywhere in the world. Like, people are like, yeah, but, like, I'm a dentist. Yeah, they need dentists in Europe, and they need dentists in Asia, and they need dentists in Australia, and you will get better money, to be real, if you go work in Australia or New Zealand. Have you heard of traveling nurses? Like, they're everywhere. Have you heard of teachers that are working abroad? So I genuinely think that any job can be like, done elsewhere in the world. And then for the digital nomad part, this is where you have to find skills that are in high demand in the market today, and that can be done online. if people want to check this out, I have the ultimate work from anywhere job board guide that I've created, because I had so many questions about it, and there's a lot of scammers. So you really have to be careful of the job boards that like you're actually apply to. But there are thousands of remote jobs out there. I just feel like people don't know where to look. So the first step is like, what am I good at? If you're doing customer service, you can do customer service online. If you're doing sales, you can do sales online. If you're doing marketing, graphic design, data, oh my God, there's so many things like affiliate marketing, a million things. You just have to find what you are good at. And then if you don't feel comfortable, honestly, I would recommend investing into digital nomad skills. And those are the ones that I've named, right? So like the obvious ones: sales, marketing, communication, project management, data, graphic design. I might be missing a few that are really obvious that are not coming to my mind right now, but I know that for a fact that like these are the main ones. Like ads, paid ads, that's a like really good one if you can do that. IT, customer service, customer support, customer success, all that stuff. There's no limitation. If you're already working in front of a laptop, I really challenge why you have to go into a physical cubicle or office to do the job. Like it's not a matter of you doing the job or not. It's a matter of finding the companies that will allow you to be remote.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's definitely one of the barriers, because like, yeah, it's great. I think your employer definitely doesn't prefer you to, most employers definitely wouldn't prefer you to go abroad or to be in a different time zone, right? But it's
Why?
so how do you go find those companies, or maybe what are the tools that you use to find those companies that will allow you to live that lifestyle?
I solely apply to work from anywhere jobs from those remote job boards. I don't even hustle to try to convince an employer that I'm going to be 10 times happier and 10 times more productive if I get to choose my environment. But I will give you the example of my partner who is in sales and started a job because he really needed a job, and it wasn't work from anywhere. It wasn't even remote. It wasn't even like allowed to work somewhere else, right? It was just remote, right? So he started there, remote job. And after he passed his probation and made sure that he was kind of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Irreplaceable, like that he had a lot of value there, he asked for a test. And this is where like the employer, if they're smart and if they really value you, it's going to be really hard to say no. Like, are you really going to fire me over me? I don't know, like going to work 1 month in the UK, for example. He's from the UK, right? So like, are you really going to fire me over that? Like, I'm going to log in at the same hours. I'm like, you're not even going to know that I'm gone. And they said yes. And we went to the UK for a month, tried it. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. With like, he tried it with his company. They literally forgot that he was abroad. Like, that's how successful it was. And guess what? Now we've traveled 5 months across Latin America, no issues. We're going again. We're going to Mexico. We're going to Brazil. We're going to do Europe. So can you work your way there? Yes. What are the other tools specifically that you can use? Honestly, I stick to the remote job boards. If I apply to a job, like back then, if I would apply to a job and I wasn't sure, I would make sure to not even waste my time. I would make sure during the interview process to be like, hey, by the way, I would always test this by saying, I own property in Mexico and I go there all the time. Will that be an issue considering that this job is like remote? And if they said no, then I'd be like, well, I don't see a reason to continue the interview process because I do spend all of my winters abroad. And if they're like, no, that's not an issue, then I'm not legally telling people listening to like go without the
Don't
consent
lie.
of your job. But have I done it? Yes. Was I successful? Yes. Do the employer even notice? Absolutely not. It is pure micromanagement and control. Yes, there are tax purposes, all of that. Certain companies can't do it. But just to say no for the heck of saying no, and then you have the CEO going to the United States and working from there, but you're not like, so I just do remote jobs. The end.
Yeah. I think that's fair enough. Like it's kind of setting the standard once you kind of make that connection, and then filtering the jobs
Yeah.
or emphasizing this is the type of lifestyle that I live, and if it fits your company, great. If not, well, move along.
And I think people would be really surprised what you could learn by asking. The amount of jobs that were remote, not work from anywhere, but just remote. That's always my starting point. And that I would mention my travel plan, and they were like, yeah, we don't care.
No.
So like sometimes I think there's like that fear of asking. There's that fear of being affirmative in who you are and what you do. But to be honest, if the job gets done, like, who cares?
Yeah, and I mean, in Canada at least, that labor is an issue, right? Finding skilled people for jobs. So I mean, if we're looking at trends, that means that the employees have more power over employers. So.
Yes, exactly. But my guide is in the link in my bio in my TikTok if people want to check it out. It's gonna be I can put it in this episode as well. People
Sure.
can download it, and there's thousands of jobs out there. So I think it's just a matter of not knowing where to look or being afraid to do the switch. But if you're doing customer support in an office in Montreal, well, you could do that remotely. Like there is no issue. It's a non-issue. Like today, there's probably over 1,000 jobs in customer service on all these job boards. Like you can do it.
Yeah. Make the leap. Do it.
Exactly.
But before people make the leap, I want to get to the real bits of digital nomads. Because
Yeah.
I've had a ton of people on here talking about, I'm a digital nomad, maybe not going into detail into, how to become one and stuff like that. That's definitely the first time. But, you've been doing this since 2017. I kind of want to hear the real shit, like the high highs and the low lows.
Yeah. I want to talk about that too, because I agree with you when when you say that like this lifestyle is kind of glamorized and people tend to show only like the positive and the nice. Like, no, this is not for everyone. This is not peachy rosy all the time. So let's get into like the nitty gritty of it. If you're someone that likes your routine and like ultimate comfort, can you do this? Yes. Is it affordable? No, not at all. It is not affordable. This is going to cost you like 2 to 3 times whatever you're paying to be at home. Giving you an example, like Costa Rica. Okay, Costa Rica is a very expensive destination. You're going to say like, okay, this is very biased, but like for 2,000 USD per month, my partner and I were living in a box in a 300 square feet apartment. The bed was next to the cooking station and there was a door for the like bathroom, and that's about it. And that's what you will get in Costa Rica. So like if you're not willing to adapt and stretch your comfort zone, this is going to be really difficult. Or pay. So earlier you said a lot of people think you're rich. By all means, I am not rich. I have paid my way for this lifestyle and I still do. And it comes with its advantages and its pros and cons basically, but you have to be really, really, really flexible. Like working in a cafe has to be a non-issue. again, me and my partner, we're not rich. We travel like carry on only, which makes us save. It helps us save thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, because that's how the airplanes get you, right? They're like, this flight is $300, and then you're like, perfect, I have a check luggage, and then it's like 500 because you have a luggage.
Yeah.
So we came to found all these little tips that make it a lot more affordable for us. But if you're not comfortable living out of a suitcase, it's not gonna happen. Like I look cute right now. I did my hair and all of this. When I'm traveling, I don't look like this. I don't have the luxury of bringing my nice clothes. I don't have the luxury of bringing like my earrings and my nice little things for my hair. Like, that's not gonna happen. I am living off of a suitcase. Like, I have bathing suits, shoes, underwear, and like basic clothes. That is it. That is all I can bring, right? Like, my makeup, forget it. Forget my makeup. I don't like the amount of liquids. I can't bring all my makeup. That's not going to happen. So
It's true. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, yes, I'm a champagne nomad. Yes, I like my comfort, but realistically, right? Like, realistically, being comfortable in Costa Rica is a 300 square feet apartment. Realistically, being comfortable in Antigua, Guatemala is like a room maybe at the Selena with a shared bathroom. Like, it's a level of comfort above the backpacker, but is it my beautiful 2-story townhouse in a Villégiature of Saint-Sauveur? No, it's not. So yeah, you will deal with the power outages. You will deal with like food being weird sometimes. You will deal with horror stories. Like, I was in a drug cartel on the east side of Costa Rica and we lost thousands of dollars. And would that ever happen if I wasn't traveling? Like, no.
Hold on. You were in a drug cartel?
Yeah.
Expand.
Yeah. So basically, this was my 12th time in Costa Rica, right? And I had the privilege once more of saying, I want to explore new parts of Costa Rica. I have a very set itinerary. I go on the west side. I go to Tamarindo, Nosara, Santa Teresa. That's what I do. Thank you. I love it. This time around, I was like, let's explore. Let's try something new. There's this digital nomad hub in Costa Rica on the east side called Puerto Viejo. It's supposed to be a hub. I was really excited. It's supposed to have a Jamaican meets Latin America vibe. And yeah, it was exactly that. It was Jamaica's ghetto meets Costa Rica. I do not recommend, honestly. I love Costa Rica to bits, but like, don't go to Puerto Viejo. We, as digital nomads, here's another tip when you want to save money. You're going to rent for long periods of time. Like, renting an Airbnb for 1 week, you're never going to get the same price as if you're renting it for 5 weeks and then you're messaging directly the owner and you're like, hey, we want to stay for 5 weeks, maybe more, give us a price. Like, you're going to get better discounts, better deals, all of that. So we rented for 5 weeks, read all the reviews. The owner really like did a great job at hiding that her apartment wasn't in in the cartel, not like near, in it. Like, you have to walk past a bunch of drug dealers to get to the apartment. It was so uncomfortable. It was horrendous. And we tried to negotiate, give us our money back. Like, we want to leave. Nah, she wouldn't do. Airbnb was like, send us pictures of the drug dealers. This was a horror story. And I did. That's how crazy I was. That's how desperate I was. Like, I put my phone in the back of my pocket and leave it on video. And like, then I took like screenshots of them and I send it to them. And they were like, oh, but they're not in your property.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. I thought you said that you'd joined the cartel.
Like,
Like you were in the cartel, like you were dealing drugs in the cartel.
No, I don't do drugs. I don't do drugs, but I mean they were selling drugs like right in front of our apartment. So they lived there. Their house was like the second house near us. So we were
Yeah,
in
you
the
just start
cartel.
throwing gang signs.
Huh?
Start throwing some gang signs.
No. I'm telling you, it's terrifying. Like it's funny when you're back or whatever, nothing bad happened, but like that's no joke. Like the ghetto in Latin America is, yeah, it's hardcore.
Yeah, it's you got to be careful.
Yeah.
I have another question for you before we get to Q&A.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued about the Amazing Race.
Okay.
So you were on the Amazing Race. How many years ago was that?
My gosh. That was right before I started my nomadic journey. So that was in like 2015, 2016, maybe.
Nice. And so can you give us some of the behind the scenes on the selection process and I guess how it was on the show?
Yes. The Amazing Race was by far one of the best experiences of my life. Highly recommend for anyone that's I think they're doing the castings now. This won't be relevant when you're publishing this episode, but I think they're doing castings now and I really highly recommend. I had done TV reality before. I was on a modeling show before that, and the experience was horrible. So it was really refreshing to be on a show that wasn't about like drama and, creating like fake news and all that stuff. It was really about exploring Canada, first of all, which I'm so fortunate that I feel I'm so fortunate that I got to see Canada like from coast to coast, like literally from St. John, Newfoundland to Victoria in BC, and we stopped in almost every single province and like really, really got to see Canada inside out. That was great. Then they took us to China and Thailand, and we had such a blast there. Like me and my best friend, business partner at the time, we love to travel, so it was so cool to like race around the world with my best friend, and the whole entire crew were pretty much nomads. Like, to be honest, that was kind of like my first real awakening to nomads. So right, they weren't digital nomads, they weren't like working online, but these people live to travel. Like the sound guy, the camera guy, they became like really close friends. So here's something people don't know. Like every team gets assigned a sound guy and a camera guy, and they become your shadow. Like they live with you, they follow you everywhere. Like they're with you 24/7. It's literally like, can you take my mic off? Like I'm going to shower or like I need to poop or whatever. So like they're really with you all the time. And yeah, I started like talking to them and we got really close, and they would be traveling like 8 to 10 months out of the year on different contracts and different shows, and they 100% consider themselves nomads. And it was
Wow.
so cool to see, and it was so inspiring, and I was just like, wow, like I wish I could do that. And like you get paid to do these amazing shows and you get to travel and like you get to explore the world. Like I was really amazed by that. So that was by far one of my best experiences. I had the opportunity to face a lot of my fears. I'm terrified of heights. They made me tightrope on the 2 highest buildings in Vancouver. I still can't believe I did that. Yeah. And I did it, and like I was hyperventilating the whole time, but I did it, and we were the first team to cross. I was like, oh my god! And yeah, we went on the Great Wall of China and like got to tour and I mean guide a bunch of tourists in French on the Great Wall of China. And in Thailand, we had to do like a puppet show in front of a live audience, and like we just experienced so many cool things, and it was eye-opening and just reinforcing like, yeah, I want to travel the world. Like I want to do this. This is dope.
Is it exactly how it looks on TV?
Yeah, I can definitely say that this show is not scripted, not fake. Whoever wins, wins for real. The challenges are for real. The emotions are for real. And like the plane lands, they let everyone like get off the normal people, or I don't know how to call it, the non-participants. And then they're literally like race, and like we run out of the plane into the airport grabbing our bags. Like it is an it's actual race, like no jokes. This is not fake, it's a race, a real one.
That's so cool to kind of get the behind the scenes. What's the selection process like once they pick you, they do the interview you, like how does that work, the behind the scenes?
The interview process is pretty classic. You have to send a video of you and whoever you're gonna do the race with, and basically showcasing your relationship, who you are, why you think you should do the show. Then, if you're selected, they go in every major city. So, like here it was Montreal, and they just do like in person castings. They're trying to gauge if you have a good like camera personality, how shy you are in front of the cameras, like gauge the chemistry between you and your partner. Um, and that's it. After that, like you either get an email that you didn't do it, or they call you and you're like, you're in. So me and Andrea, I'm a marketing girl, right? So me and Andrea, we were like, we need to do something that they will never forget. Like, this is my best advice. If you really want to do TV, you want them to remember you for something, like, oh, that's the girl that did da da da, right? Not by your name. You want to be remembered for something specific. So me and Andrea, what we did is that we purchased some dead bugs, from like eatable bugs from a farm in Ontario. Like it's like crickets and worms and I don't know, all sorts of insects that you can eat, barbecue flavor, dill, ketchup, name it, all of that, salt and pepper.
In
Puts in crickets. Exactly. So we purchased that. We brought it to the casting with us. Our video was dope. I mean, we have great chemistry. We were really funny. We did like, so like for example, I'm acting like I'm doing a pull-up, and then the camera fades out, and then like you see Andrea like pulling me up, like all kind of silly things like that. Like it was either like really cringe or really funny, but whatever. They remembered us, right?
it worked.
It worked. Exactly. So yeah, we brought the dead insects at the casting, did our thing. Our chemistry was off the chart. Like, obviously, this is my best friend in the world. And then at the end, they're like, anything else you want to add? And we're like, yes, we want to show you guys. We want to show you guys how committed we are to doing this. And we had brought 5 shot glass, and we put all of the insects in the shot glass, gave it to them. Like we gave all of the casting directors one. Me and Andrea had one as well. And we were like,
Cheers.
cheers. And like we took it. Obviously, they didn't take it. They were like, you guys are crazy. But forever, to this day, I'm still friends with one of the producers. And to this day, we are the girls that ate insects during our casting. Like, no one does that. No one. Everyone is just like, hi, I'm na. I hope you take us. We went above and beyond. So like we knew we had it. After doing the shot, we were like, we're in, baby. We got this.
That's awesome. That's great advice. And yeah, next time I think I gotta find some bugs or something.
Are you wanting to do the show?
I don't know. I think it'd be a fun experience. Every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, I got to apply, but I just never do.
Why not? Oh my God, you and your fiance. That would be so cool. You guys have to try.
I think we have to do it.
Yes, absolutely. But don't do the bugs, because they've already seen that, and it's the same producers. So try to think outside the box, but you want to be the couple that did XYZ.
Perfect. We'll come up with something. That's great advice. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Anyways, let's get to Q&A.
Q&A.
First question, hot or cold?
Hot.
Beach or mountains?
Beach. Beach. Yeah, beach.
Bus or train?
Train.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
It's a good answer. Top or bottom bunk?
Top.
If you could have a beer with one person from history, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh my God, why can't I answer that? I only have very superficial answers. I'm like, Tyra Banks. But
Hey,
like, no, but I would kind of be wasting it on her, honestly. And she's drama mama. No.
Well, you know what? Tyra Banks is actually a listener, so she'd be, I think, thrilled to hear this.
Okay, let's leave it with Tyra Banks. Let's fine.
Have you been to jail?
Almost.
Let's hear it.
In Colombia, Ubers are illegal, but you can order them. And at night, you're not supposed to walk. So we took an Uber and our Uber got stopped and we got searched and they were yelling. Don't speak Spanish. So they were yelling a bunch of stuff and they started like handcuffing my boyfriend. And I was just like, oh my God, what is going on? And to this day, I'm not 100% sure what happened, but our driver convinced the cops that like uncuff him, we're friends, we're good to go. And we got back in the car, but he didn't speak a word of English and we didn't speak a word of Spanish. So we just laughed the whole entire way to our destination. Still to this day, not 100% certain what happened, but yo, Colombia prison like is the last place I would want to go. So whatever this man did, thank you again, because he saved us.
I can just imagine what he said. He probably said something like, they're in the cartel. I've been to their Airbnb. Don't fuck with them.
She's got a gun. Like, she looks innocent. Uncuff him right now if you want to live.
Exactly. I think you're going to have a good answer for this one, but what is the weirdest food you've eaten abroad?
Crocodile? Oh, so much. Crocodile, antelope, larva. I'm going to go with crocodile because it wasn't. No, I'm going to go with the larva because that was disgusting. It was like if you take a really juicy pimple and you pop it in your mouth and the pus, that's the texture and the taste. 99. I've never tasted a pimple, but I'm pretty sure this is what it tastes like. So I'm going to go with that. Like crocodile was better than that. Yeah.
I've heard it's decent. Which country has the best cuisine?
Oh no. I haven't been, but like I want to say Japan because I'm obsessed with their food, but I haven't been. So that's cheating. So I'm going to say a country that I've been to. This is not going to be a good answer. Costa Rica, okay. But like I'm into the fish and the beans. Like, is it boring? Yes. Am I obsessed? Yes. But like my real answer would be Japan if I had been. I'm sure it's Japan.
That's actually controversial for me. I've never been to Costa Rica, but I've heard a lot of people go and they don't necessarily say it's bad, but there's a lack of variety is what I've heard.
That's true. I have to, like, I ate fish, rice, beans, plantains every day and my smoothie. But like, I was happy. I was waking up. I was having my coconut, then my smoothie. Then I was having some fried fish, beans, like plantain. I'm a happy gal. But like, yeah, there is a lack of variety. I agree.
What is your biggest travel pet peeve?
What does pet peeve mean?
Like something you don't like, something that annoys you from traveling.
Okay, so I made a really viral TikTok about this. I actually hate traveling. I hate the act of traveling. Are you kidding me? I hate airports. Like, I love being at my destination. Do I like waking up at 3 a.m. and being like crammed in a plane, like cold for hours and then stressing about like the security, that is my luggage lost? Like, I hate traveling. I don't get why everyone's like posting all these like, love the feeling of being in a plane if I'm in first class. If not, I shit. I shit. I hate it.
Tell me your best travel hack.
Compression bags.
Compression bags?
Yeah.
For your luggage?
Yeah. Game changer. Compression bags completely changed my life. I can double the amount of things that I bring because of compression bags. It's a total game changer. And this is not like a revelation, but eSIM also. eSIM is
Yeah.
like, come on. I don't want to mess with a physical SIM anymore and blah blah blah. And
I lost the tool. I can't open it now. Like,
yeah, exactly. But compression bag, love compression bags.
okay, so when you say compression bag, are you just buying the cubes or are you actually compressing them, like taking the air out of the bags?
Yeah, I have the ones that like you vacuum or that you can press and like take all the air out, and it makes it like a little type tin. Like I can bring so much more stuff. Like honestly, I could not travel without them. And I also have the Osprey cubes, not sponsored, but like you can pull on these things. Like Osprey is such a cool brand. Honestly, I've had like these bags for 10 years, and you can pull on all the strings and they will never break. And even if they do, they reimburse you. And again, you can smash the crap out of it and like compress all your bags and your luggage. And as a woman, that's like game changer.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Where is the most underrated country? This is the difficult question part.
The country that rocked me the most that is upcoming is Cape Town, South Africa. I think it's really worth going to South Africa. I think it's a underdog digital nomad hub, soon to be really popular. Like I feel like it's gonna boom. And if you're a digital nomad, it's soon going to be the Lisbon, Madeira, like Medellin hub. So you want to go before it reaches that point and all the prices go higher. So yeah, I would highly, highly recommend. It's really cool city.
Great answer. Where did you experience the least friendly locals?
Honestly, I know this is going to be really surprising, but Colombia. The whole tipping situation is really annoying in Colombia. They just okay, I'm going to stop saying Colombia. Medellin. Medellin specifically, the tipping culture is insane. Like the locals would chase us down the street for the tip. However, like they wouldn't come to our table for like 30 minutes. They wouldn't smile at us, but then like would chase us down the street like propina, propina. And I'd be like, propina no es obligatorio. Like, just like, no, you didn't give me like, yeah, I did not like Medellin's local. Yeah.
Yeah, tipping culture is definitely getting a little out of hand.
Yes.
Where's somewhere you'd never go back?
China. Can't pay me to go back there. No.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that place too because I work for the government of Canada. I'd rather not get jailed. Where were you the most scared?
Puerto Viejo.
Okay. We've covered that one, so yeah, that's great. But yeah. Okay, I've got I guess this is 2 beers till takeoff. What's your favorite cocktail?
Amaretto sour.
Good answer.
Yeah. What's yours?
Last question.
Is it a beer?
No, it's a cocktail, but it's just alcohol related.
No, but what's yours?
My favorite cocktail?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We are, I think most people know, but we're getting married shortly. Our signature cocktail is a pisco sour.
Ooh.
Pisco sour. So I'd say it's one of my favorite ones. I love caipirinhas. So kind of that lime base cocktail, but I also love mojitos, just old fashioned. Not very difficult.
Yeah. Anything that has alcohol.
Last question. What's something you never travel without?
Oh, my cell phone.
Other than your cell phone, everybody has one.
Okay.
What
What's
makes you
something I don't?
unique? What makes you unique, Imani? Like in the Amazing Race casting.
So this is one thing I want to bring. I'm going to get to your answer. I'm buying time, but this is one thing I want to bring that my boyfriend absolutely refuses. But I want to bring my goddamn blender. Seriously. There's been so many Airbnbs that don't have a blender. I like my smoothie in the morning. I said that. If I'm traveling and like there's no blenders, it drives me wild. Like, and it's so much cheaper to make it from home. So I've been wanting to bring a magic bullet, but my boyfriend is like over my dead body. You are not taking space to bring a magic bullet for like 5-6 months abroad. Like, no. So I haven't done it because I don't want to piss him off. But what's something I don't try? Pepper spray.
Really?
Yeah. I always travel with my pepper spray. I always, always, always have it. It looks like it's hairspray. This is a tip for the ladies. Amazon looks like it's hairspray covered in pink, glittery. They never catch it. There's not a single airport where there've been like they will stop me and be like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "It's hairspray. It's pepper spray. If you get close to me, I will blind you."
Damn. No, I've never heard that one, but that, I mean, hey, if it works, it works.
Honestly, it's the best because like I'm not gonna bring a knife. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna bring anything that can be turned against me or that's like illegal. But pepper
Yeah.
spray is so good. Like if I feel unsafe, I don't have to touch you. I don't have to anything. I'm just like, and I swear to God, you will be blinded. Like I've tried it. It's
Have you used it?
oh yeah, it's horrible. Like I would not wish that on my worst enemy. And it's so good. You can shoot it from really far. So like you feel danger, you're like, shit, I don't feel safe. Start running. Trust me, no one's gonna run chase after you. Like, not gonna happen. No, pepper spray is my jam. This is how I feel safe.
Look, I think I have an episode name ready. Pepper spray.
Pepper spray, Ev.
Pepper spray, the digital nomad.
Oh.
All right, let's get to the story.
Story time.
I'm gonna start with one of my favorite stories because I feel like dating as a digital nomad is an underrated subject and it's really hard. If I'm being honest, I have dumped every single one of my ex-boyfriends because of traveling. I would want to travel. My ex-boyfriends were like, it's not possible for me, or I can't follow you, or I don't want to follow you. And we would always end up having to break up because you change so much when you travel and you evolve. And I felt like I would come back and I would be a completely different person. And this person has like not changed, not evolved. We're so disconnected. We'd have to break up. And I knew that like I would keep doing this forever. So it wouldn't be sustainable. So I just never stayed with a guy that's like, I don't want to travel the world with you, to the point where I was single for 5 years. And I was like, my next partner is going to be a hardcore traveler, or I'm not even like dating you. I don't care. Like I'm happy on my own. Screw this. So rewind to 2020, middle of the pandemic. Okay. Like hardcore pandemic. Like I don't know how it was in your part of the East Quebec side in the city, dans les Maritimes.
New Brunswick, yeah.
Okay, I don't know how it was in New Brunswick, but here we needed like a little coupon to go to the grocery store. Okay, like hardcore COVID. I'm single. I'm on Tinder, wasting time. And this amazing promo comes up and it's Tinder Passport. So for anyone listening or viewing that doesn't know what Tinder Passport is, it's this amazing ability. I should be sponsored by Tinder. If someone from Tinder listens to this,
No free ads.
No free. Okay, whatever. No, but seriously, I feel like I embody the best Tinder story. So yeah, Tinder Passport is this ability to swipe anywhere in the world, and during COVID, they decided to offer it for free to anyone and everyone in the world. And it was in an act of solidarity to combat solitude. So I saw Tinder Passport being free. I was like, hell yes, jumped on it. Starting to swipe like my life away, man. I was in Bali, I was in Hawaii, I was in Whistler, I was in Australia. My Tinder portfolio had never looked that international. It was amazing. So I'm swiping, I'm having the time of my life. My now boyfriend, who was in the UK at that time, also saw the Tinder offer and was like very smart because he had a 2-year visa to come to Canada. And he was like, let me start talking to girls in Canada already. Like, let me, I don't know, prep the terrain or something. So no idea how we match because he keeps saying to this day that he never swiped in Montreal. Like, you still have to pick the location. However, I like snowboarders. So I was definitely swiping in Whistler, and he was planning on moving to Whistler. So I think that's where we matched. Like, I think he was swiping in Whistler. I was swiping in Whistler. We matched. Honestly, had nothing on his profile, this guy. 2 pictures of him, like from the back. You can't see his face, but his emojis sold me. It was surf, snowboard, and travel. I was like, yes. And then on his pictures, he was like, I'm the tall one. I'm like, a tall, traveling, snowboarding, surfing king? I'm in. So I was like, yes. And we started talking. And yeah, this guy was really, really, really consistent, which I really like. On Tinder, there's a lot of flaky people. People will ghost you for no reason.
Yeah.
My boyfriend was very like thorough. Like, every morning I would get a good morning text. Every end of day would be like, how was your day? What did you do? Like, genuine interest.
Wow.
Yeah, like, fast forward to 5 months later, we are talking every single day. We are FaceTiming. We're doing Catan online, Monopoly online. Like, we are having the time of our lives. We're literally dating online. I was talking to other guys, not gonna lie, he knows this, even if he sees this. He was also talking to other girls, like, whatever. And the like COVID restrictions were getting looser. And this other guy on Tinder I was talking to was like, I would love to invite you on a date now that it's safe, to meet people. Would you like to go for drinks? And I'm like, yes. So I got all dolled up, all ready. I'm in my car, literally movie scene, ready to go. And I'm like, I can't do this. Like, this doesn't feel right. Call the guy. I'm like, I am so sorry. I'm going to bail on you. I am talking to another guy, and I would rather stay home and do a home date with him than go on this date with you.
Damn.
Yeah. And so I came back to my now boyfriend and I was like, listen, I just canceled a real human. Like, not a virtual
On this
thing.
continent.
Yeah. So I just canceled someone to speak to you. What are we going to do about this? Like, I can't be virtual and put all my eggs in this basket, like, not knowing what's going to happen. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so relieved you're bringing this up. Like, I would love exclusivity. I would love to meet you. Let's make this happen. So from that moment on, we were exclusive to each other virtually or whatever. And we started planning our first date. It was really complicated, especially for the Canadian borders. There was no way he could come here. There was no way I could go to the UK. So we were like, well, we're both travelers. Let's look around. And there's this initiative from Greece that happened, and it was called Green Line. What that meant is that people from the UK could go and travel into Greece in that really small window. It was like 2 or 3 months of time that it was open and not quarantine. And me as a Canadian, I could also go to Greece. And if I had a negative PCR test, I didn't have to quarantine. So literally within 48 hours of learning about the Green Line, we had our ticket books and we were like, we're meeting in Greece. I really wanted to make sure that we could travel well together and that this guy was a real traveler, because that's always been an issue. Like, I didn't want to date a guy that wants to be a nomad, but that's never done it. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted
You
someone
want to have to train him up.
Exactly. I wanted someone that like gets it at my level, like same vibe. And my ticket, frankly, was like almost $1,000 to go there, and his was like 50 quid. So I was like, cool. You're taking care of all the hotels and you're doing the whole entire travel itinerary. Like, I want to see what you come up with. And that was the test. I was really bluntly honest about it. And he completely blew my mind. Like, to this day, I think he would put to shame 90% of guys when it comes to dating. This is by far the most incredible trip I have ever experienced. The timing to, like, we did a car, like we drove, so we did a road trip. He hit every single landmark, and the time that we spent in each destination was chef's kiss perfect. Like, the whole organization, every hotel, everything that he picked, oh my God, I was like blown away. He knew that I was on The Amazing Race. So what he did when I first arrived, and this is when I knew that I was in trouble, I was going to have feelings for this guy, is I arrived in Greece 10 hours before him. He had still not sent me any hotels, anything. He was like, I'm keeping this a surprise. So I'm like, so like I'm landing in Greece and like we're homeless? Like, he's like, no, I got you. This is going to be really cool. Trust me. So I land in Greece. He's like, call me when you land. I call him. He's like, you're going to hop in an Uber. I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to get you an Uber and I'm going to do a virtual Amazing Race in Greece for you. And it was the dopest thing I've ever experienced. He had clues that I was giving the Uber driver to take me to the next destination. And he would only give me the clue if I sent a picture, like a selfie of me at like the given location that he had planned. It was absolutely amazing. So like, this guy literally entertained me for 10 hours before he even arrives at the destination, like there. But yeah, that was really good. That was really impressive. That was like, whoa, that's next level. Then wait, I get to the first hotel, right? The last clue leads to the hotel. I open the door. There's this girl. She's called Alejandra. I still remember her, and we're Instagram friends to this day.
It's one of his wives.
No,
This is too good to be true.
I opened the door of the hotel and she's like, Ebony, mwah, mwah, how was the race? And I'm like, how do you know me? She's like, oh, I've been talking to James for such a long time. He had been planning everything, talking to this girl. Like, she knew the whole entire story. She's like, I am so in love with your love story. I cannot. This is amazing. She had handwritten me a note in the name of Jamie for me that was waiting on the bed. She had went to pick out flowers on the bed, bottle of champagne, like everything. She was so involved in that story. She like literally, I opened the door of like the room and she's behind me and she's like excited, right? Because like she picked the room and she picked the flowers and she wrote the notes and she's like, oh my God, like she's just so into it. And she's like, do you like everything? Are you comfortable? She's the cutest thing. Honestly, when we get married, she's invited. She's amazing. And then she was like, relax when you're ready. Your supper is paid for by James. You can come on the rooftop. You're going to have view on the Acropolis and watching the sunset while he arrives. Do you know, like, I called every single one of my girlfriends and I was like, I am in love.
Fuck, I'm in love.
Are you kidding? I still have all the pictures, everything. I had a risotto, a glass of wine. I was looking at the Acropolis, sunset. And like, I was like, this hotel is amazing. There's a little Greek DJ. I'm on the terrace. I'm having a drink. What? He arrives. We share our first kiss. I'm like, married. I'm done. Put a ring on it. I'm yours. So yeah, that was the first time I ever met my now partner. We've been together for 4 years, traveling the world together for 4 years. And it's still the best first date travel story of my life.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I think so. This is a largely male audience podcast. Boys, take notes.
Take notes, guys.
Be special. Take notes.
Take notes, okay? Because now my standards will never be lower. I'm like, if you wanted to, you would. If you wanted to, you would. Because guess what? He wanted to, and he did. He did. And it was amazing.
Cheers to James. James is a real one.
James is my heart and soul. Yeah.
Oh. Can I get him on the podcast?
Yeah, he'd love that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
He's also a really big traveler, a cool, really cool, laid-back guy, really different than me. It would be hilarious to compare both episodes because he's like the peanut butter to my jelly. I'm the jelly. I'm like, ah! He's the cool, calm, collected, nothing phases him. My God, I so needed someone like him, especially when we travel and shit hits the fan. He's like, we got this. It's cool. Let me take care of it. And he's amazing.
Sounds it, Ferry, man. That's a pretty sweet story.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll be honest with you. I expected less than what James did. So James is a real one.
Yeah, and like I just want to add also the choices of the hotels were exquisite. Like the itinerary that he pulled out of his ass in 48 hours blew my mind. Like there's nothing I haven't seen. I've seen meteorite. We've climbed Mount Olympus. Like we went to Olive, the Champs d'Olive. How do you say that? Like
Olive fields.
Olive fields. We went to like see natural honey and like go to a, je sais même pas comment dire ça en anglais.
Dis-le en français.
C'est genre un endroit là où il y a une apiculture, tu sais, où il y a toutes les abeilles, puis they're really renowned for that.
Where they make honey.
Yeah, like literally, and we made honey, and then we had the honey on our baked feta, and like we went to the ruins. It was wow. Hire James. Honestly, if James was to start a business where he teaches men how to like court women, I think we'd be millionaire because I'm like, you don't even know how special for girls things like that are. Like, and this wasn't even him being romantic. He was just like, I mean, you said you wanted like a nice trip. And I was like, yeah, but whoa.
Dude, you set the bar pretty high. But
yeah.
No, James, does he want to organize my my honeymoon?
I'll ask him.
Okay. Anyways, hey Bunny, this was great. Thank you so much for coming on. I thought this was a very informative episode for once. Typically my guests are, telling stories about being stupid somewhere. But this was heartfelt and informative, and this was awesome.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope I've answered a couple of burning questions. These are the questions I get all the time. So like, I'm really happy if I can provide value to people and if I can inspire more people to find freedom and travel the world if they don't know how to do. You can reach out to me as well. I'm happy to like answer any more thorough questions, but I definitely think that like just knowing where to apply will be a game changer for anyone looking for a work from anywhere job, wanting to get started on their digital nomad journey. And then you just have to jump. You just have to commit and jump, and like that's how you're going to know if it's for you or not. You'll never know unless you do it. Like we can sit here and talk about it all day, but honestly, you have to experience it for yourself. So
Right. So, Ebony, can you remind people? I'll have it in the show notes, but can you remind people where they can find you?
yes. So on TikTok, I'm Ed Finley Travels, and on YouTube, I am Nomad Generation. And I don't share my Instagram because that's just for my friends and family. So it's TikTok and YouTube.
Right on. Anyways, thank you so much for coming on, and I look forward to speaking with James.
Yay! Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to Two Beers Till Takeoff. Do you want free additional content or just to stay connected with the show? Then give us a follow on our social media platform. That means TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of them. Are you in need of podcast production services, video editing, or anything in between? Then look no further than Strut Sound Productions, the official producer of the Two Beers Till Takeoff podcast. Music produced by Alex Gagné. Check out his work in our show notes. Voiceover done by Viking Leo K. See you next week on Two Beers Till Takeoff.